So we always have fresh air coming in, being cleaned, and we send clean air out into Delhi. In '98, I got diagnosed with leukemia, and chronic leukemia.
Lymphocytic, CLL.
Now the problem with this type of leukemia is you treat it, go through all the cycles of chemotherapy, it comes back again a year or two later, and then again and again, and eventually then there's no cure except for a bone marrow transplant.
Welcome to Missed Calls from Earth, where conversations inspire conservation. Today we have with us Mr. Peter Satwant Singh and Mrs. Neeno Kaur, who answered missed calls from Earth. Their house inspires a lot of us. In Delhi, with an AQI of 400 plus, they have an AQI of 13 at their residence. With temperatures of 40 plus in Delhi today, the temperature at their house was 23 degrees. This is without an AC. Amazing. Let's welcome them both. So, good morning, sir.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
And ma'am, everybody keeps on talking about what you're doing in the present day. I actually want to understand what Mr. Peter and Miss Neeno are from the background as youngsters.
Okay. Well, I grew up on a farm in Punjab,
Hanji.
and we had a family farm, and we all lived together as a joint family of 4 generations. That time, my great grandfather, my grandparents, and my parents, and I'm an only child. So we had an old fort in our village which dates back to Maharaja Ranjit Singh's time, where they
Okay.
maintained an army, and we used to live there in the fort. So 45, when I was born, we used to live in the fort, and Peter is a name given to me by my mother's father. My name was Satwant Singh, but he had come back from the Second World War in 1945 when I was born. So
Okay.
he said, I'm going to call him Peter. He gave me a pet name. And later on, I asked him why. He said, well, there was someone, a Britisher, who was in the war with me in the Middle East, and he was a very close friend. So that's how I became Peter Satwant Singh. And then when I was 5, I'm an only child. He told my parents, you are going to spoil him. So I'm taking him to a public school. So he got me admitted in Sanar, the Lawrence School,
Yeah,
Sanar.
right.
So I joined there in 51, actually. We went there and I joined a preschool to learn some English because it's all English there. And then 52 to 61, I was in Sanar.
Wow, wow.
So I studied more science, mathematics, not art subjects. And those days we had senior Cambridge, so I passed out in 61. And then I came to St. Stephen's College to do mathematics,
Wow.
Delhi, New Delhi. So Delhi University, I joined St. Stephen's College. I was doing a mathematics honors, BSc Maths honors. Then I did MSc Mathematics. And then I joined for a PhD in pure mathematics topology. I wanted to teach.
Okay.
So I wanted to do research and teach. And that's where we met.
Well, our families were distantly in Punjab. Everyone's connected.
They knew each other.
So my mother, sort of fixed up the match, and Peter's condition was that I have to know the person I'm going to marry, because
Yes.
at that time marriages were arranged. So his parents said, how can anybody let their daughter go out with you? So he said, then I can't get married over a cup of tea. Go and see a girl over a cup of tea. How can I marry her and spend my life with her?
Right.
So my father was in the army, and I was studying in Sacred Heart College, Dalhousie. They
Okay.
thought that was a very, very safe place to send me. I had a very conservative mother, and so my father got posted to Delhi, and then the parents decided that we should meet.
So then I said I don't want to live in the city. And I've always grown up on a farm, and then even in the hills, We had a house in Kasoli. So I then bought a 1.5 acre farm beyond Chhatarpur, Fatehpur Beri, beyond in South
Right,
Delhi,
right.
beyond the Kutab. I bought a 1.5 acre farm and I built a small 2 room place, a small tube well and a room for staff, which I got from Delhi, from Punjab.
Okay.
And I had only about that much money. My father said, I'm not giving you, selling more land and giving you money. So whatever, some land I had in my name, I sold and I bought this. And I said, I don't want to spend money on a house. In any case, I was alone. So I pitched an army tent, the old kind of army
Ah,
tents, which had a kitchen on one side, the sitting area, and a bed. So I pitched a tent there, and I used to live in the tent. And I used to go in the,
okay, okay.
I used to go on my 2 wheeler to this university and back, and that's when we met. So her parents were posted to Delhi. We were allowed to go out for the 10 days she was here.
Hmm.
So,
Well, so
but I was told you can't take her to your tent.
so at the end
So
of the 10 days, we had to say yes. I, who had never met anyone, promptly said yes. And he said, how can you decide? I said, well, I've liked you. But you see, he was a mathematician. Uh, he had to weigh the pros and the cons. So he'd never have made up his mind. So I helped him make up his
But
mind.
anyway, we clicked, we talked to each other, and we believed in similar things. But I think eventually
Right.
in a marriage, it's very important that your values are the same. It's not only values, it is what you're interested in doing. So we got married, and then in those days, Delhi University was a hotbed of the CPM and the Naxalite movement. And all my
Right.
friends, they were in the press and all. They all said, do you realize what's happening to the country? Why you're going to sit here and teach? And then I thought, actually, why not? We have an education, and most people from St. Stephen's went off into IAS. So everyone
Right.
said, you yeah, take exam, go into IAS. I said, I'm not interested. So my parents said, why? I said, see, I don't want to be, a lackey to any politician who tells me what to do, or even my senior, who tells me what to do. I want to do
Yes.
things that matter, to make a difference. And I can't do it sitting in the IS. I'm just doing a job posted from place to place and doing nothing. And
Right.
so I'm not interested. So no, you can become chief secretary. I said, I'm not interested. I don't want to be a chief secretary. I want to do my own thing. So we actually moved back to a farm in Punjab. And
Huh.
those days, the agriculture university, we knew, and we had in those days, in 75, when 73 we got married, 75 we moved back, we had set up a biodiverse farm. So our farm was
Okay.
not the standard, wheat paddy rotation, but we had uh, orchards. So we had rows
Hmm.
of fruit trees 25 feet apart, and
Hmm.
we used all the multiple levels. Like we had this patharnak and bagu kosha, which grew very tall.
Right.
In between, then we had the next tree was a peach or a plum or
Okay.
what was that other thing? Uh, these not apricot, the other one.
No, we had
There were different varieties,
we had peaches and plums
peaches,
and
plums,
pears and
pears.
pears.
And then, so basically, we use the entire vertical height, and then
Okay.
lines of papaya. So,
Okay.
so even in those days, we thought of biodiverse farming using vertical space. And then
Perfect.
we had taken up beekeeping with agriculture university. They had just imported the Italian honeybee from Punjab.
In fact, we did the first beekeeping training course in PAU in
Punjab Agricultural
1976.
University.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we both did the course, and they said we want to distribute this to farmers. So they set up a small 15 colony unit, bee colonies to us. They gave them to us. They said, let's see how it works.
It was like a
Okay.
demonstration
So we
unit.
got very interested. I got into, international bee associations, beekeepers all over the world, and learned beekeeping, understood that, and then learned not only just beekeeping, but from the honeybees producing things like royal jelly, pollen, propolis, all these things which give additional value, and bee venom. So bee venom was used for arthritis. So I made friends with beekeepers all over the world and traveled to Germany and France, learned about what they were doing. They invited me to their place. So
Hmm.
basically, we set up beekeeping also the biodiverse thing, and we did something called single source honeys. So we would move the bees to different crops. Like
Right.
Punjab had, kinno, orange orchards in the
Right.
In Hoshiarpur.
Hoshiarpur. Then they used to have eucalyptus. Then they had, different flowers, sunflower. So the bees, when the flowering was about to start, they were loaded onto trucks, these tempos overnight, shifted to the new place, and then the colonies put there. During that
Okay.
15 days of flowering, the bees would collect that nectar.
Right.
So it was a single source honey, and we were the first people in India who started that.
And
So
I had, you see, moved to Delhi then because the children had to go to school. We didn't want to send them to boarding school. We didn't want to put them in Ludhiana. So I moved to Delhi with the children. In fact, we shared out the family. The grandparents and the children came with me, and Peter and the parents were on the farm for some time. So then
Okay.
we explored marketing the honey. So we called it Golden Meadows honey, and sold orange blossom honey, eucalyptus honey. From the foothills, there's
Wow.
mountain blossom
a
honey,
wildflower that comes up in spring.
wildflowers, and then we supplied top stores, the five-star hotels, and well, now what? 40 years later, people still remember that honey. They say it was so good.
Because we did
Yes.
it was not processed, it was just extracted, and then the bees were moved to the next crop. So we managed to do management of the bee colonies and breeding of the bee colonies. We got,
In fact, this German friend of ours, he brought an expert and gave us all the equipment for artificial insemination of queen bees. So we learned artificial insemination of queen bees also. We set up a lab here.
so
We were the
Interesting.
first registered R&D unit with the Department of Science and Technology for beekeeping
so we did
Okay.
all this work on beekeeping.
and training.
And then we used to give these to farmers. We would give them small 10 colony units, give them training, and then whatever they produce, buy back and bottle. So in
Okay.
fact, 1988, we got a state award from the Punjab government on Independence Day of a Praman Patra for our development of beekeeping. And we set up beekeeping in various parts of Punjab. And then later on, the Punjab government got after us. There were a lot of honey lying unsold. So she had moved to Delhi. So they said, why don't you set up a project with us and let's handle this honey? So we set up the first company, a joint venture. I think the mistake was a joint venture. So we set up a joint venture with Punjab government. And we then, over from 1992
92.
to 1998, we set up 750 beekeepers all over Punjab. Gave
Okay.
them each 10 colonies of honey. And the production in Punjab went up from 300 tons to 3,000 tons.
In
Wow.
5 years.
And whatever they produced, we bought back. They would bring to the factory. We would pack it in containers, and it would go to Germany and to Australia.
No, to USA.
Sorry, USA and Germany. So it was the
Wow.
best quality honey. They said it's the best quality honey we've received. So we were doing that, and we were doing 2,000 tons a year. And then in 1998, again, the Punjab government gave us a state award of a Praman Patra on Independence Day for developing the honey industry in Punjab. Then, well, as happens all over the world, the big companies came in. Dabur got threatened by us. I said, why are you threatened by us? We are helping farmers and setting it up. So they actually wiped us out. They came to the market, increased the price of honey beyond, what we could buy for export. And eventually our company in 2000 closed down. So we lost all the funds we had put in. We had sold our agricultural land and invested all in the company. So we lost all that. And then actually we had also talked to farmers that why don't you become shareholders and take over the company? See, we are not business people. We were invited to Punjab to set it up. We set it up. Now you people are doing it. You expand it.
Right.
The farmers were agreeable. They gave us letters. We got a letter to 200 farmers. But the Punjab government said, no, this can't be done. It's a joint venture. They have to buy us out. I said, how can a small farmer buy you out? So eventually no one was interested. The unit closed down in 2000. And then closing down a company means, widening it up and all. For 10 years, 15 years, we were in court. And we lost whatever we had. And our son then had actually, our children were here, so he had gone to the US and he's settled there. So he said, no, forget about it. He's working there. I'll send you whatever you need. Just relax. So, but then we set up, we wanted to, and then it so happened,
In 98, I got diagnosed with leukemia
Yeah.
chronic leukemia. And
lymphocytic CLL.
now the problem with this type of leukemia is you treat it, go through all the cycles of chemotherapy, it comes back again a year or two later, and then again and again, and eventually then there's no cure except for a bone marrow transplant. There's nothing else that can be done.
So she was going to AIMS, All India Institute for treatment, and there the doctor said, you know, you have to find a donor. Do you have any relative? And she has one sister.
Luckily, she was 100%
Luckily, she was
match.
100%
Wow.
match.
Good.
So they said we'll keep that in the, you know, in the background. In the meantime, you carry on taking chemotherapy. But then it so happened, but you see now leukemia is caused by benzene in the air. There are research papers published on that. Automobile exhaust, it releases benzene, and they had a survey done and various papers are written about it.
Right.
That all along major roads where there's maximum amount of traffic, within 100 meters is the maximum incidence of leukemia. So this is the problem. And also then what is the other forms of cancer are the foods we are eating. You see, we are eating foods that are full of pesticides.
And all the chemicals added to processed food.
Now in Punjab, they are growing foods. The other problem, you see, with our agriculture, what we are doing, the so-called green revolution, we are using weed killers first. Weed killers to knock out all the weed. Now the weed killer that is used is something called
Roundup.
Now Roundup in America, a gardener got lymphoma.
Right.
So then they said many years ago, this came out on the BBC News and all also in those times. So he got lymphoma. They said, how did you get lymphoma? You're a gardener. What are you exposed to? Then they found that Roundup has something called Agent Orange, the chemical of Agent Orange, which the Americans used in the Vietnam War. They sprayed it on the forests to kill the vegetation.
Okay.
And then they went into, you know, the soldiers went in. But it was later discovered that of those soldiers who survived and went back to America, 80% got cancers. 90%. 90% got different cancers of different kinds. And it was related to this Agent Orange in Roundup. So when they located that is what you see, when you're spraying, it goes onto your body.
Right.
It goes into you.
And you inhale it.
So when they said, he said, I'm going to court. They said, you only have 2 months to live. But he went to court and he won a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the companies who produced that. And they said Roundup should be banned. Now, some places in some countries it is banned, but in India, agriculture universities recommend it.
No, even in Europe it's used.
Even in Europe.
And they keep this suppressed. Even now I was reading, there are still lots of law action.
There are law action cases in the US against it.
Everywhere.
But all that is suppressed. And like when we went, Agriculture University gave us a package of practices, spray weedicide, right? Now, and then after that, use pesticides. And the pesticides have they give you a whole package of practices. Treat the seed with so and so. After 15 days, when the plant comes up, spray this. Then after 15 days, spray that. So during the entire season of the plant growing, every week or 10 days, you're spraying a pesticide. Now, some are contact pesticides. When the insects eat them, they die. Some are systemic. They are dangerous because they go into the plant and they stay there for 45 days.
Right.
So
how did you land up at Sanic Farms?
I'll tell you about that later. So anyway, I'll finish this. So with the result that these pesticides and these things, they are creating cancer. There's a cancer train that goes from Punjab to Bikaner. So then, in any case, we then only ate organic. How we landed up here is when she was diagnosed.
Well, AIMS said that there's some Ved in Dehradun who's helped
Yes.
some people. We went to see him. His medicine didn't help me because he also prescribed bhasams. Bhasams actually lodge in the body. But
Right.
what we learnt from him was invaluable. He said, Satvik khana khao. Now, Satvik food traditionally is no garlic, no onion, but we eat garlic, onion. But he said, eat organic food, eat freshly prepared food. So in our fridge now, we chucked out no food is reheated. Everything is freshly prepared. Now, when we have extra vegetables, we freeze them immediately because then it's like fresh. We don't blanch it, we freeze
Right.
it. So then you can use that. But that is the most important thing. In our home, we eat no processed food. Everything is freshly prepared. And well, I
All
mean,
organic. And
I even have an small stone grinding atta chakki because I make my own bread. So you have to be conscious of what you eat and respect your body.
so this really helped her immunity. We ate only organic. And what happened was, but that time we had moved to Scenic Farm actually. When we first came, we were in Greater Kailash. We had thought of, we had rented a place, then we bought a place, but Greater Kailash started getting very overcrowded. So in 89, we said we've had enough, we want to live out in open spaces. So we came to Scenic Farm and bought this 800-yard plot. My cousin lived here. So we bought this plot and we built this house. And this house also, I mean, everyone who comes here, they are amazed at what the house is. Because see, I had a friend who was an architect in college with me. He worked with Stein. So he said, when we were building this house, he said, our fort had fallen down in the meantime in Punjab. He said, pull out what you can from there. So we pulled out all the doors and the various things from there. And then you see, the important thing people don't realize is design. Now, this house is a long plot of 100 feet by 72 feet. So on the west, you see on the east are the bedrooms. So he said the bedrooms on the east, the morning sun comes into the bedroom. It goes overhead. On the west, there's a veranda. So the sun never hits the house. And only after 4 o'clock, when it goes down below the veranda's height, that it hits the walls. By then it's cool. So, and then north is the garden. This is the north side. You can here see, I'll show you. You can see the garden here.
Right, sir. Yeah.
And,
Perfect.
and that's our greenhouse. So
Yeah.
this was the garden on the north. And on the south, we had two large trees which protected it. Then the house is made only with plain brick, and inside on the walls is only lime wash. There are no chemicals.
And all these bricks, you got them from your killa?
No, these bricks we got locally. Killa was that very small brick. That was too complicated to get it fixed here because no one knew how to do that. The bricks we got from one of the brick, who are making the natural big
Local kiln.
local kiln, but good quality brick.
Hmm.
And there's no concrete in the house. And the roof is all sandstone. I'll just take this and you can see.
It's okay.
Can you see the roof from
Okay,
here?
yeah, I can see that, sir.
So the roof is all sandstone. So there is no concrete. And sandstone again is a natural material. And all the
Right.
wood is wood, old wood. We had some from the fort, some we got elsewhere. And it has no paint on it. It only has shellac. So there's no chemical inside the house. Spirit polish with shellac. So there's no
Right.
chemical inside the house. Also, because of the directions of the house, it is naturally cool. I mean, even now, then what we further done is, so this is when we moved to Scenic from 89. Then we started growing food here, organic food. We were doing beekeeping. We used to bring all that. And then because of that, she had to have a bone marrow transplant in 2009, and her lungs got affected. So the doctor said, get out of Delhi, because in winter, Delhi is so polluted.
Right.
Initially, Delhi was not so
480,
polluted. He said, get out of Delhi, because every winter she would get a lung infection. She would be on nebulizer. She would be on antibiotics. So then we had gone to Goa for a wedding, and our son was in the US. He said, come, I'll buy a house in Goa. You move there. So we thought we'll sell this house. We said, no, forget it. Don't sell this house. You move to Goa. So we moved to Goa. But that is where in 2013.
2013 we moved.
Now 2013 we moved to Goa. We bought a small villa there which is on a small colony onto the river. But what happened was that, see, we only ate organic. Now in 2013, Goa didn't have much organic food.
Right.
So we were growing organic food here and, buying it from organic farmers around us. So we literally had to, send food from here once a month, by truck, all the vegetables and all. Because Goa, it was just a 200-meter villa and it had not much space, just 10 feet space around.
Right.
But that is where we discovered aquaponics. Someone told us about aquaponics. So in 2013, we started our experiment with aquaponics.
Okay.
Now, aquaponics is actually the future of agriculture. Because see, today, what aquaponics does is, you keep fish in a tank. And
Okay.
you can keep all freshwater fish. We've
Okay.
grown rohu, katla, the carp varieties. We've grown sea bass in Goa. We've grown freshwater prawns. So you make a fish tank and you put the fish in the tank.
Okay.
Then you feed the fish. So we also, but we make our own feed also. We don't buy the commercial feed.
Okay.
You
What is the
feed the
feed made of?
We can share the formula
I'll
if you're
share the
interested.
formula with you. So we buy various wheat bran and various things and make the feed at home.
Mhm.
And we feed the fish. Now what happens is the fish waste and the tank has water pumps which are making the water go round and round. So what happens is that the fish waste comes to the center of the tank, and then from there it is taken out, and the water with the fish waste now is mainly ammonia.
Right.
So then it goes to something called a biofilter. In the biofilter, there are natural bacteria where the ammonia is converted to nitrates and nitrites.
Right.
So this water now, nutrient-rich water, is pumped to plants grown hydroponically. See, aquaponics is aquaculture and hydroponics combined.
Okay.
So the plants are all grown hydroponically without soil in different forms. The water goes to the plants, the roots take the nutrition, they aerate the water, it goes back to the fish.
So it's a closed loop recirculating
Right.
system.
So it's the same water. Now we are growing 15,000 plants of vegetables and fruits
And the water is never thrown out.
in Delhi, and the water is never thrown out.
Wow. Wow.
The same water.
How much water do you use in a day?
So I'll tell you, in Delhi, where we have 15,000 plants,
Right.
we are using only 1,000 liters of water a day.
Wow. Just 1,000 liters.
And that is
That's
evaporation loss.
amazing.
That's evaporation loss.
On our second floor roof, first floor roof, on the ground floor, we grow everywhere.
And we grow 120 kilos of fish a year. We got 4 fish tanks. So you see, this way also then, because we have a greenhouse, we are protected from the elements. All around the
Right.
house, we have greenhouses around the house, the garden at the back, on the rooftops. So the greenhouse
Plus,
is
you're also doing rainwater harvesting.
yes. So what the greenhouse is, it controls the environment
Right.
and the water and also, so what we are not bothered about whether it's rain or hail or sun or not. We have our own environment. What we've also done in Delhi, which has gone viral all over, is AQI 15 home. See,
Yes.
now, so what we've done is a very
While
simple.
Delhi is 400, you are 15 or 13.
Yeah, even Delhi may be 1,000. We are 5 and 10.
Wow.
PM 2.55, PM 10, 24/7 all year round.
How have you managed that? Just with the plants or something else as
No,
well?
there's a very simple technique. There's an old technique of water coolers. So the whole house is surrounded with a greenhouse. The only
Right.
entry of the air is at the entrance to our home, where there's a veranda. We made a 6 foot wide and a 8 foot long panel, a long vertical panel,
Right.
6 feet by 8 feet. And here we have perforated cardboard in this. And
Okay.
there's a small tank under it, and there's a pump. The pump is
Right.
running water,
Corrugated cardboard.
corrugated cardboard. The pump is running on water, is running on it all the time, day and night. Inside there's a 24-inch exhaust fan. So
Right.
this is outside Delhi air. This is our panel. Here there's an exhaust fan. It pulls in the air through this.
Right.
Now, this does 2 things. PM 2.5, 400, 500, 1,000 here, 5 here. Straight away.
Wow.
And this then there are fans that circulate this fresh PM 2.5 air through the entire greenhouse and through the home.
See, the pollutants are trapped by the cardboard
water
and then
container.
the water.
Yeah.
So it's cleaned and filtered.
So then further what it does is outside temperature 45. Now today our home inside is 25.
Wow.
No air conditioning. In fact, last night, Nino put on the fan and I caught a chill.
Peter said, I'm frozen. I said, I'm going to be frozen at this time of the year.
So I said, please put on the fan. I can't have the fan on.
And while Delhi temperature is what? 40 plus right now.
It's
40 plus.
42 today.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a complete AC. 25 degrees is perfect.
Yes. And
The most important thing is fresh air comes in from outside, goes through. We have one window through which the air goes out, comes in, and it goes out at the other end.
There's a picture here. You can see that window there.
Right.
Now that is the only entry of air into the house.
Right.
So the air is coming in through the filter, being pumped with, circulated with fans all around. It comes in through this. And in the kitchen and the bathrooms, there are exhaust fans. It goes out.
So we always have fresh air coming in, being cleaned, and we send clean air out into Delhi. And the plants oxygenate.
15,000 plants are oxygenating that air.
Yes.
So that is what we're living and breathing in.
So the only air conditioner that we have is we have a small air conditioned chamber on one side of the garden, in the greenhouse, in which we are showing that you can grow your own food, grow in excess, where you cover your running cost and sell that. So we have 4,000-5,000 plants of lettuce, spring onions, microgreens, baby spinach, which we grow. When it's cool, then you don't need the AC from November to March. The rest of the year, we have an air conditioner there.
It's an inverter AC.
So every week, we sell the excess vegetables. We have enough for ourselves, and we always have fresh, organic greens.
So whatever we need to eat, for lunch or dinner, if we go, you pluck it, you cook it, and you eat it. The extras over the week that grows, every Saturday morning.
We have a group, so take orders, and then we have a taxi. So the orders are supplied, and that covers our.
6 in the morning, our guys get up. We have only one couple looking after all this. There's no extra labor. Only on Saturdays when the vegetables are plucked and all, we get an extra laborer to help out because plants have to be, pots have to be cleaned
and replanted.
So we are getting an income of 40,000 rupees a month, which takes care of overheads. Right. Now the other requirement was water. So what happened is when we moved to Scenic Farm, we had actually we all had our tube wells. Now, but our tube wells ran dry. They were 220 feet, and this is all rocky area. Right. They ran dry. So then we suggested we have an association here that runs all of Scenic Farm. We said, why don't we do rainwater harvesting?
Rainwater harvesting.
So they said, you have an agriculture background. Why don't you take it up and get people to get it done? So we got professionals. And all along the roads on Scenic Farm, every 100 meters or so, we've done rainwater harvesting.
Wow.
Where the water goes down to the first water level at 40 feet. So what has happened is that whenever it rains, instead of water standing on the roads in Scenic Farm, it goes underground and recharges groundwater. And our groundwater is risen by 40 feet. Our tube wells have started functioning all over Scenic Farm.
Very good. Very good.
So this is what we did as an association. Then what we did was we set up community tube wells. We set up 40-50 people together, got money from them. In the center of 40-50 houses, we made a deep bore tube well, went down to 500-600 feet, pumped up that water into a tank there, filtered it, and from there had another pump giving 1,000 liters of water to every house. So we have our own water. And then we made it mandatory that everyone who gets water from these tube wells has to do rainwater harvesting, greywater recycling in the house. Right. So all the rainwater from our rooftops and all comes to 3 tanks of 25,000 liters total. It's stored there. The rest goes underground, and then we pump it out to use. So actually we have our own water, right?
And plus, no food waste is going out, it is being composted.
All of it is being
Yes,
composted. Not only food waste from the lanes around, immediately around us, we give the person who's sweeping empty bags, collect the leaves, and we've made large bins, and we then make leaf mold. So we add the leaf mold also to the compost. So in our system, we get no fertilizer from outside.
so
We use only our own compost and coco peat. So we supplement the nutrition from the fish along with vermicompost, so that
Right.
because you see in standard aquaponics, there's a ratio. You have to have that much fish for that many plants. But we're not governed by
well,
that.
we've combined permaculture with aquaponics. So the pots that are in aquaponics are filled with a homegrown vermicompost, and the plants are plugged into that. So the plants are getting nutrition from that, and the roots are going in and getting nutrition from the fish water. So they're getting
Right.
double the nutrition. And the yield with this kind of system is 6 times the yield of normal agriculture. No fertilizers, no pesticides, nothing, right? Only these two things. And now what we are doing is we were first composting our kitchen waste. Now I'm making a small biogas digester, because the kitchen waste will go into the biogas digester and we'll get biogas for the kitchen.
Okay.
And the compost will again go into growing food.
Interesting.
So we actually grow 50, we produce 50 bags of vermicompost a year from our waste, which if I have to buy would be 50,000.
Right.
But the
Right.
main thing is it's clean. There's nothing mixed in it.
I believe you're also training people into aquaponics.
Yes.
Yes. So I'll tell you two other things we do before I come to that. Then our grey water, we have no sewage here, sewage
Right.
connection. So the grey water from the toilets goes to a septic tank. From there, channeled, just about 4 feet below the ground into a whole area where there's rubble and all and soil on top, and we grow fruit trees, right? So no sewage leaves our home. And all the water from the kitchen and the bathrooms again goes to another filtration tank at the back. That is pumped up again to grow fruit trees. So no waste leaves our home, no sewage leaves our home.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And then we have solar.
Then the only requirement now was power. So we've set up solar on the rooftop. So we have our own power and we are off grid.
Totally off grid. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
And we do oyster mushrooms also.
yes, oyster mushrooms. You can tell.
Yeah. So on paddy straw.
You see paddy straw which is being burnt.
I'm sure in Solon, there are a lot of mushrooms being done.
Yes.
But you're in Solon, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I remember years ago, we went to, I think we stayed in that MES, there's a circuit house or an MES inspection bungalow.
Yes. Yes.
We stayed there for a few days. At that time, it was more than 50, 60
So I had
years
done
ago.
actually a course on mushroom farming there at Solon University, but those are the button mushrooms. Now they
Right.
require all sorts of fertilizers, but oyster mushrooms require nothing. Just paddy
Straw.
straw, you sterilize it
It's no butter.
and you grow it.
Okay.
We attended a workshop also at the Solon University, Agriculture University,
So
beekeeping many years ago.
so this is what we do, and now all excess whatever do we sell, and we have training. We have 2 weeks online training on Zoom
Right.
and on Signal once a month, 7 to 7:40 in the evening. And week 1, Monday to Friday, I cover aquaponics. And what is covered on that, I'm only on Signal, so I make a Signal group of those people, and we post it on the group. They've got 24 hours to absorb it. And week 2, then she has.
And I talk about composting, how to grow your food, what to grow, what vegetables to grow, what extra nutrients to give them, what pest control. So the whole detail, because the whole idea is to make people succeed.
Right.
So it's not just growing the fish, it's also growing the vegetables, because the two are complementary.
And then the
How
last.
much space does somebody need to start this?
Oh, we have a bottle for a balcony, 3 feet by 7 feet, which grows 500 plants.
And along the entrance, we've made along the along the entrance.
Yeah, here along the entrance, a lot of people said these videos went viral. Oh, you got a bid house. What do we do? So along the entrance, I posted that on a YouTube channel, 2 feet wide, 25 feet long on the wall there. We made a small 700-liter fish tank and we are growing 1,000 plants of vegetables.
But what we are
Wow.
also now planning
2 feet
is
wide, 25 feet long, and 8 feet high. So you can grow along the walls of your home, you can grow in basements, you can grow in balconies, on rooftops, on terraces. So this is what in our we give this during our courses. And the last 2 days I cover things like design, rainwater harvesting, solar systems, greywater recycling, all that we cover in 2 weeks. Then people can do a site visit. We are not patenting anything. They can come and look
because
at
you
it.
see, it makes sense to do the site visit once you've understood the system. Otherwise, it's a
Right.
waste of time, your time and our time.
So they come here, they see how it's working, and then once they can take photographs, they can understand it. Then we give them an entire list of suppliers. They can buy what they like, seed, equipment, whatever, and set up their projects. And then we keep interacting with them. So our fees are 10,000 for the course, but family members are free, and there is no fees for afterwards interaction.
Okay, that sounds very interesting.
So that's it. That's what we are doing, and we are busy.
And
Well,
how
you
are the
have to
people
have
taking it?
Sorry.
People are embracing aquaponics in a big way.
Well, I don't know. We are teaching people, but I think people have a lot of constraints about, time and other things. Some people have, some people took it on. In fact, just now there was someone from Germany. He rang me up. He said, "I've seen you on the net, and can you set up something for us in Goa?" I said, "I don't set up anything for anyone. I train people. Otherwise, go to our website. You've seen our website, Aanant Aquaponics. Anant Aquaponics, we've taken Anant is from the Guru Granth Sahib. It means endless. So
Right.
Anant Aquaponics is basically endless food. So we tell people, go to our website. It's all there. There are no paywalls. You can look at it. You can copy it. I have no problem. Want to learn, then do the course.
Interesting, interesting. What do you think, uh, is the biggest missed call from Earth right now? What the people need to listen to Mother Earth? Because what you are doing is listening to Mother Earth, the nature, and you are doing the things.
See, we are destroying Mother Earth. Like you've seen, you are in Solan. We went up to Kasoli for a few days. Look what they're doing to the hills. They're destroying them.
Right.
cutting down all the
And what you
trees.
did, see, initially in the hills, you had the old British architecture. You had those villas, bungalows, you had gardens all around. Now you got flats
And sloping roof.
and sloping roofs. You got flats. And even in Goa, they're cutting down forests and they're building multi-stories there. They're destroying Goa.
But especially in that region in Himachal where you are, the hillsides are crumbly. The moment you touch them, they just keep coming down and they don't stop.
Right.
So
So, we are destroying Mother Nature. And I don't know whether nature is eventually going to say that the humans were a mistake. We need to get rid of them.
well, this year threatens to be a very frightening year.
No, also see, there is no food. And if you look at the world, what is happening? Just wars and wars and wars all over. You're just fighting with each other.
Yeah, like today they were saying India has the 100 most hottest cities in the world
Cities.
today. And if we cut down the forests, then what are we left with?
No,
Nothing.
and of the
Heat.
most 100 polluted cities in the world, 94 are in India. So
And-
this is what we are doing. We are breathing this air. We are eating this food. You look at a label, everything on a food label, we are destroying nature. You're adding chemicals. You're adding, pesticides.
And
So
you
I
put
don't know
something
what.
to your body, which is poison.
When you say organic farming is only for rural areas, it is a myth or a fact?
Is a myth. Like we are doing it in the city.
No, we are
Right.
showing that you can, wherever you live, you can grow your own food. That's the most
Is
important thing.
sustainable living expensive, myth or fact?
It's a sustainable living is possible. That's what we are doing.
No,
Look
we
at
are
it.
showing by example how to live sustainably. So we are saying if we can do it, so can you. And we show you how
It's
to do
not
it.
expensive.
No. See, I'll tell you, someone asked me, how expensive is all this? I said,
Right.
okay, on my total greenhouse and systems here, over the years, since 2013, I spent 11 lakhs, right? Because every year we've learned a bit, added a bit. But now consider that we have our own food, we have our own fish, right? Forget the cost
Right.
of that. We are selling 40,000 rupees worth of vegetables a month,
Well,
right?
this
Which
it may be
is roughly about
less.
5 lakhs a year. So in
Right.
2 years, I've recovered my capital cost.
No, but do you calculate the cost
No,
to your health?
but costing
That
is
is,
it.
that
Yes.
is no.
No,
We take no medication. We are healthy. See, do you consider that?
we're breathing fresh air. I turned 80 this year. I can still work. I can sit down and work. I work in the greenhouse all day.
I'm 72. We are healthy. We have no medication. We are
Wow.
active. So the thing
Wow.
is that what that you cannot even put a value at because it's your health.
People still don't understand how can one household make a difference? Is it a myth or a fact?
No, it is a
Every
myth.
bit
See,
counts.
what we are doing is we are showing it's a myth because see, we are showing this, and we are showing. In fact, when all our videos went, people said, the so and so minister wants. I said, I'm not interested. I said, see, we are showing this is what's possible. If someone wants to come and see me, I don't want to just have a photo shoot with him. Tell him to do a course, set it up in his home, right? And
Right.
teach others, right? Because if you set it up, we are showing by example, this is what we can do. Like here, we've got 15,000 plants. In Goa, we have only a 200-meter villa. There we were growing again 120 kilos of fish and 5,000 plants in the greenhouses around the house.
Wow. Wow.
And there, in a colony, now you have houses in a colony. What do you look at? You look at other houses' walls. We don't
Right.
look at anything. We look at the vegetables around and the fruit trees
And the
around our
fruit
home.
trees. And in
Awesome.
Goa, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said in Goa, because we have the trees around the house, our home is cool. Everybody is sitting in an
Yes.
air-conditioned space. We don't need air
We don't use air
conditioning.
conditioners in Goa either.
Our home is cool.
Can aquaponics be implemented in schools and communities?
Of course, because in fact, schools, just yesterday, various schools contacted me. They asked us to come and give talks there. And I said, see, why don't you set it up? You can tell him about New York.
Yeah, in New York, there is an NGO called the New York Sunworks. They
Okay.
have aquaponic and hydroponic units on school rooftops as a teaching aid. So
Right.
in fact, I went and visited one, and there was a class going on. And so the children practically have botany, chemistry, biology, to learn. It's
Architecture,
practical.
design, water flows,
Mathematics, everything.
mathematics, and it's all there practically being used.
But
See,
here, teachers, when we say, okay, why don't you come and do this and learn this, set it up? No, we have no time from our syllabus.
no, there's
So you learn by rote and theory, but you
Right.
have to, today, it's even more important because there are no jobs but the jobs are only in STEM education. Aquaponics combines STEM education, but they have to understand that.
But see, we've told many schools that set up an aquaponic greenhouse. Now look at schools, they've got buildings all around. There's open area in the center, they've got gardens. I said, why do you have a garden here? Set up a greenhouse and let the children do aquaponics, and you can give them a free midday meal.
Right.
And you can cool your rooms and you can have clean air into your classrooms without air conditioning, without anything else.
We used to have a garden. I love flowers, but now we grow vegetables, which are much more practical.
What do you think is the biggest missed call from Earth right now?
Missed call from Earth is humanity that is destroying Earth.
Destruction.
Cutting down forests, building.
No, but all these wars, aren't they throwing
But
pollutants
forget the
into
war.
Yes.
Look what we've done. No, that is separate. Look at what we've done to the earth. We just destroyed it. Look at the so-called green revolution in Punjab. Punjab water levels have gone down to 200 feet, right? Some areas have turned saline, right?
Yeah.
And look at the pesticides. Look what we have done to the Punjab soil.
With 3 or 4 crops, each crop has its own pesticide and its own weedicide, all going down into the soil. And you're
Right.
poisoning the soil.
You're poisoning the soil. You're using more and more fertilizers. So what are you using? You're using petrochemical derived fertilizers, and the amount of fertilizer you put into your soil. So what are we doing to our earth? I mean, what is the earth saying? What are you doing? What about simple farming? They say, no, it's not profitable. I said, look at the amount of money you spend. You know, a lot of people say, I said,
Right.
why do you want to grow paddy, wheat? You know, Punjab should not be growing paddy.
Exactly.
The Agriculture University, in fact, in those days when we were there, they did a seminar. They said Punjab should shift to biodiverse farming. No one done it.
But that's 50 years ago.
If we have to tell people to change one habit, what should that be?
Eat food that is not processed. Eat freshly prepared organic food. That's the most important
And
thing.
grow your own food.
And grow your own
You may
food.
not grow your, see, everyone cannot grow their own food, but they can make a start by eating freshly prepared food.
See,
Just-
if you eat organic and you don't eat processed foods and you don't eat processed drinks, automatically that thing will close down. Now, why do you want to have Coca-Cola? I mean, Coca-Cola is a toilet
It's a
cleaner.
toilet cleaner, absolutely.
I mean, you throw it into your WC, it gets perfectly clean. And that's what you're throwing inside you.
Right.
But it's
What is your
advertised.
message to the youth?
My message to the youth is take your life in your hands, right? Don't depend on something else. You're looking for jobs, you're looking for something else. Look, I've never worked for anyone. I've always done my own thing, right?
Mm.
We've generated our own funds. We are generating our own food. We are generating our own income, and we are happy, right? So I would say to the youth, take your life in your hands, be independent, live sustainably,
And be the change yourself.
and be the change. The youth has to be the change.
Right.
But you have to be committed.
Otherwise, there's
you
no
have to
hope.
be passionate about it.
See, no government is going to do it. No organization is going to do it, because in Goa there's the Serendipity Festival, and there's a Triple O Farms. They had a rice. They had a workshop on rice. We attended that. He walked in, and on a table he had, I don't know how many varieties of rice, some brown, some red, some something else. He walked in, he said, well, you know, the world's governments are run by 5 companies. I'm not going to name them, you know who they are. He said, now India had 130,000 varieties of rice. When the Green Revolution came and wiped out that, now we have only 30,000 left.
Probably even less now.
And he says, we are now trying to preserve that. They go to the villages, find the old rice, and they, seed it. And he said, now the rice varieties in India, some is brown, some is red, something else. They require no fertilizer. They require no water, right? They require no pesticide.
Very little water.
Very little water. They grow naturally in different areas. Different varieties grow.
And some have different medicinal benefits. Some are low GI. They are good for diabetes. They're good for high blood pressure. But nobody
So he
thinks of
said, no,
that.
that's all gone. And so he said, this is what we are trying to do. And next day they had a workshop on pulses. So he walked in. He said, जब मैं बाहर गया था तो लोग कह रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट के अगेंस्ट बोल रहे हो. He said, मैं इस गवर्नमेंट के अगेंस्ट नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं सारी गवर्नमेंट्स के अगेंस्ट बोल रहा हूँ. He said, now
Right.
look. He said, now look at pulses. India used to grow all its pulses. We have destroyed that, right? We are now importing pulses.
Biggest importer of pulses.
So he had about 5-6 varieties of arhar there. He said, now we are trying to tell farmers, use this arhar. They said, nahi, they use a hybrid. See, now what is the danger? Hybrid seeds, GMO seeds. Once they come in, your local seeds are finished. So it is these kind of companies that are going and working in the villages, getting seeds and distributing them back to farmers. They're trying to preserve them. But those seeds are the natural seeds we had. Hybrid seeds they have no nutrition. So then what are we doing?
And they all need pesticides. these seeds are resistant to, they are suitable to grow locally.
In fact, he gave us a
They're
story
hardy.
about arhar. He says, see, I went to Gujarat where they grow arhar to one village. I said, ji, hamari arhar grow kar lo. They said, no, we won't. We grow this hybrid variety. He said, okay, give me 2 acres of land. He said that 2 acre land and he had that arhar there. He said, we throwed that arhar. No fertilizer. We watered it. It came up. All the arhar came up. The rest was hybrid. They used fertilizers, pesticides. He said, we used nothing. He said, then it rained. There was standing water in the fields and all the arhar died because the water stood for, I don't know, 10 days. There were some higher points where the arhar survived. He says 15 days later, when the water cleared out, our arhar came out again. He says it came out by itself and it gave a bumper crop. He said, then we told people, ab aap ye lagaoge? They said, no. He says, why? He said, your arhar only has, the pod has only 3 seeds, ours has 5. He says, okay, get 2 bags. Let's fill them. He said, we filled both bags. That bag was 100 kilos, ours was 150 kilos because the seed was solid.
It's heavier.
So he said, now the problem is, this is the problem we are facing because it is the big companies who are trying to sell their kind of seeds to the farmers. They're giving money to them to grow that, and then people who are buying that. He says, there is no hope for trying to, it's an uphill battle all the time.
Right. True. True.
The other thing that I'd like to say is make food your medicine, not medicine your food. To respect your body, eat healthy, and so you don't have to resort to medicines. That's the most important thing.
I really like that. Make food your medicine, not medicine your food.
Yes.
That's
People our age, they're sitting with a huge handful of medicines that they eat every day. We take no supplements because we eat healthy food.
Like, touch wood, I have no medicines. I have no high blood pressure, nothing.
Know me?
wow.
But these are all lifestyle diseases, whether it is diabetes, high blood pressure, even heart.
No, the other
lifestyle
thing I would say, one is what she said, make medicine your food, not food your medicine. Other message I would say is work with your hands, right? And keep your mind active. Because
mind and body.
work with your hands, work. I mean, grow your food, do something. Now we both love to cook. We work in our kitchen. I mean, most people sit down and say, chai la do, pani la do. You're sitting around doing nothing. And what's happening to you?
We become sedentary.
We are working all the time. We cook.
Right.
And then that affects your health.
I wash my own dishes. Our staff is very upset. बर्तन क्यों धोते हो? I said, जी गुरुद्वारे में जाके धोते हैं, मैं तो घर में धो रहा हूँ. What's your problem?
So tell us about yourself. What do you do?
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I have a company which is into water tank cleaning. That is one. That is how I came into water and sustainability. And I am basically a pass out way back in 88 from IHM Pusa. So I was always worried about people wasting water when they were cleaning water tanks. And that is how this thing about, a GD water consult, we started that 13 years ago, where we clean water tanks without entering the water tanks and without emptying the water tanks.
Wow.
So how do you do that?
These are imported high pressure German machines.
Okay.
So just a pipe and a brush goes into the water tanks and brushes and suctions out all the muck from the sides and the bottom of the water tank.
Wow. Wow.
When we do that process regularly, then there is only a waste of around 25% of water of the tank's capacity. But the first time there is usually more wastage, totally dependent upon how dirty the tank is when it was last cleaned. People don't clean their water tanks for ages. So वो मिट्टी और काई जम जाती है. So there's a lot of fungus. We even found live earthworms in people's tanks.
Yes.
Because people don't get them clean. So we started that. And along with this process where we am talking to people who are, doing great things for water or for Mother Earth, we started that and that's doing great. In fact, my Puaji is also the youngest professor of mathematics in Punjab University.
Wow.
Dr. Rajendrajit Hansgill. She was recently awarded the President's Medal. You probably would know her. She was Dr. Bamba's protege.
Where is she? Which university?
Punjab University. She's in Chandigarh.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wow.
So she is around your age itself. So I
Wonderful.
come from a family of mathematicians. My mother was a mathematician. My
Wow.
Taya was a mathematician. My Puhaji is a mathematician. I did hotel management.
Wow.
It was lovely speaking to you guys. It was very nice. I know delay pe bahut hoya, but we have had a wonderful meeting today.
I'm sorry, we've been so busy. Even now, work is going outside. I
कोई
don't
गल
know.
नहीं. It's all right. But thanks for joining me, and thanks. We have had this, and let's get this further, and let's get the aquaponics further to other people as well.
Sure. And what also we are doing this year is two new projects. One will be wind turbines, and one will be atmospheric water generation. So getting water from air.
Okay. I spoke to a wind turbine person yesterday who is in Gujarat, but they were not able to give me any references for wind turbines in Delhi or anywhere
No, I'm
else.
going to do it myself. I've got a design, and I'm going to make those vertical axis wind turbines and make
Ah,
small turbines and put them all over.
okay. That'll be perfect. Now, making your own water as well as your own energy.
Yeah,
And you already got solar out there.
yeah. And so at atmospheric water generation, I contacted a company, ACO. In fact, they contacted me, had a video call with me, but they are offering
Their systems are too expensive.
1,000 liter a
Aqua,
day.
na?
No, I do not ACO. Which one? I'll tell you the name. I forgot it today.
Ah,
My daughter had gone to a conference. She met them. So they had a video call with me. I said, see, I've got humidity in my greenhouse. I want to do atmospheric water generation. He said, we do it. So I said, how much will 1,000 liters of water a day cost? He says, 12 lakhs. I said, that's too much.
And
And
also very expensive.
7 kilowatts electricity. He said, well, you can put solar. I said, see, I put up 11 kilowatt solar on the rooftop that feeds my house. I'll have to add another 7 kilowatts.
Another 4-5 lakhs.
So I said, I am trying to get people to set up sustainable greenhouses. Now, I
right,
said, my whole greenhouse has cost me 11 lakhs over 13 years. And for me to spend 7 lakhs, 12 lakhs and 7 lakhs is 19 lakhs to get 1,000 liter water doesn't make any sense. So
right,
they're using, these old technologies. I said, there is a new technology of,
Desiccant.
desiccant-based atmospheric water generation. He said, well, we are not doing that. We are doing some research on that. I said, that's what needs to be done because that is the future of that. You see, desiccants absorb moisture. So you make a
right,
panel with a desiccant and you push your air through that so it collects the water. Then you have
right,
two panels, one next to each other. Once is a completely extracted water, then you move into the next one, and then you heat this panel, the water gets removed, and then the
okay,
second one collects the water. So there are no moving parts, there, and you can use solar. But see, doesn't suit these people because they want something expensive to make money on. This is cheap.
right.
So I have to work on that.
Chalo. All the best. All the best for your efforts. And
Thank
really
you.
lovely speaking to both of you.
Thank you. And you also.
Take care and all the best, sir. Sat Shri Akal. Take
You
care.
too.
Bye. Okay, ji. Bye.
If this conversation made you think, it's time to act. Because change doesn't begin with systems, it begins with us. Until next time, don't ignore Earth's missed calls. Follow us, subscribe to us, and keep Earth safe. See you in the next episode.